You're likely already familiar with the Forbes list of the richest people on Earth, which includes entrepreneurs like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. But this is limited to people who report their income annually and place their wealth in publicly traded companies. Many of the world's richest people are royalty, who never pay income taxes and stack unbelievable fortunes. Today, we're looking at the real richest people in the world. Hosni Mubarak ruled Egypt for almost 30 years as the president and military leader. He was renowned for his corruption and abuses of power, frequently serving lucrative government contracts to himself and his family. In fact, Egyptian citizens were so displeased with him that they began extensive protest in January 2011 and eventually forced his resignation. But before his political surrender and eventual death, Mubarak was one of the richest people on Earth. His net worth was a staggering $70 billion, according to some sources. A 2011 report from The Guardian revealed that Mubarak had embezzled billions of dollars from the Egyptian people and foreign governments and stashed it in anonymous Swiss bank accounts. Mubarak also owned billions of dollars worth of expensive property in the United Kingdom. These mansions were registered under different names, but they could all be traced back to the Egyptian despot. To avoid scrutiny, much of Mubarak's riches were passed on to his wife Suzanne Mubarak, but in 2014 their assets were frozen and a Cairo court convicted him and his sons of embezzling more than $17 million from the state. The funds were earmarked for improvements to the presidential palace, but they were diverted to upgrade Mubarak's real estate abroad. Egypt's current president, Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, still rules with an iron fist, but he has a much smaller fortune. His estimated net worth is only $1 million, a tiny fraction of his predecessor. Syria has been ruled by one man for most of the 21st century. Bashar al-Assad assumed the presidency in 2000 and has governed ever since. Despite Syria experiencing one of the most severe civil wars in modern history, al-Assad has allegedly enriched himself with a fortune of $122 billion. Humanitarian conditions in the country continue to deteriorate, but al-Assad is still on top. Al-Assad came from a prominent Syrian political family. His father rose through the ranks and eventually served as Syrian president in the 1970s. Originally, al-Assad wanted to work as a doctor. He completed his studies and was set to be a wealthy practitioner, but after the death of his older brother, he became the heir apparent for the presidency. He gained the support of the military and took charge of the Middle Eastern country when he was only 35 years old. It's unclear exactly where al-Assad got his money. It's possible that he inherited much of it as part of his political dynasty, but it's also possible that he gained his wealth through corruption and bribery. His real estate portfolio alone is worth many millions of dollars. One Spanish mansion is worth $67 million, while another in France cost him just over $100 million. As these assets appreciate in value, this Syrian dictator's net worth will continue to grow. Despite ruling one of the poorest countries on Earth, dear leader Kim Jong-un's net worth is estimated between $5 and $50 billion. That's because this dictator has full access to his entire country's assets, in addition to black market smuggling and cryptocurrency. Officially, North Korea's GDP was $18 billion in 2019. Because Un rules with total authority, he can use 100% of this money for his own personal gain. Kim Jong-un is a man known for his lavish appetites, so it's perhaps no surprise that he has a fully equipped party island where he likes to entertain visitors. The North Korean dictator has tricked the coastal compound out with a 200-foot pool boat, a $7 million yacht, water slides, theme park rides, and a full football pitch. It's the venue where former NBA star Dennis Rodman was entertained back in 2013 when he was invited to the totalitarian state. International sanctions prevent North Korea from officially trading with most other countries on Earth. As a result, the Hermit Kingdom has turned to lucrative black market dealings like selling methamphetamine, counterfeit money, and weapons. All this capital goes directly into Kim Jong-un's coffers. According to International Business Times, he has at least 17 luxury palaces around the country, in addition to 100 luxury cars, a private jet, and a 100-foot yacht. Hassan al-Bolkiah is another controversial world leader who made a reputation for himself as a materialistic royal with a taste for the finer things. The 75-year-old Sultan of Brunei has ruled since 1967. Brunei's economy is almost entirely based on crude oil exports. In fact, petroleum accounted for more than 90% of the country's GDP. Conservative estimates place Bolkiah's net worth around $20 billion, though many people guess the figure is much higher. He has the largest car collection on Earth, with over 7,000 vehicles, most of which he has never even driven. The total value of this collection is well in excess of $5 billion. The Sultan's collection of Ferrari F40s, McLaren F1s and Rolls-Royce is particularly notable due to the rarity and value of the vehicles. The notoriously vain monarch is also renowned for his expensive haircuts. He even had a stylist flown out from England for a total cost of $24,000 for a single haircut. The Times reported that Bolkiah flies out of his favourite barber from London, where he works at the Dorchester Hotel in Mayfair. He goes regularly, sometimes every 3 or 4 weeks. The Sultan flies him first class at a cost of about $12,000. Everything is paid for: hotel, luxury, food. It's a case of just keep signing, that's all. The barber is then given an envelope with thousands of dollars, the Times said. Many people are critical of the Sultan for his lavish lifestyle and controversial politics, including making homosexuality a capital punishment. Vladimir Putin has been a Russian head of state since 2008 and is undeniably one of the most powerful people in the world. He got his start as an intelligence officer in the KGB and built a web of important allies in the Russian government. Since then, he has become synonymous with Russian politics, serving as the president since 2012. While some consider him to be despotic, he continues to have high approval ratings among Russian citizens. Because of the shadowy nature of Russian economics, some even believe that he is the wealthiest man on the planet, with a net worth in excess of $200 billion. In 2011, a Russian version of WikiLeaks posted a number of photos of Putin's secret mansion in the forest by the Black Sea. Many estimate the property to be worth almost $1 billion, making it one of the most expensive houses in the world. On top of his billion-dollar mansion, he reportedly has access to 20 different palaces and villas across the world. However, he must enter and exit them secretly lest the public discover his massive fortune. Putin clearly has a penchant for the finer things. One of those things appears to be a unique superyacht with a rather opaque existence. Although details surrounding Graceful's genesis remain sketchy, we do know some facts about the vessel. Officially launched in 2013, Graceful displaces 2,500 tons, has a steel hull with an aluminum superstructure, features a bulbous bow, and is powered by a pair of 3,100 horsepower diesel engines. Supposedly, it can sleep 14 guests in 6 rooms, including 1 large owner's suite, 2 VIP staterooms, and another 3 guest cabins. Putin's most expensive yacht is worth $1.5 billion. The Queen of England has an official net worth of around $500 million. Most of this comes in the form of rent on the royal family's massive real estate portfolio. But some people believe that Elizabeth II and the rest of the royal family have intentionally downplayed their assets. For instance, Buckingham Palace alone is valued in excess of $5 billion, more than 10 times the Queen's official net worth. According to sources, she earned $97.2 million in income in 2020, but the royal real estate portfolio is valued at $10 billion, and that doesn't count other assets like fine art and cars. The royal collection is the royal family's art collection, containing over 7,000 paintings, 40,000 watercolors and drawings, and 150,000 old master prints, as well as numerous artifacts, rare books, and the crown jewels, which are kept in the Tower of London. As with Buckingham Palace, these artifacts are truly priceless. Saudi Arabia has the 18th highest GDP on Earth, pulling in more than $780 billion in 2019 alone. Unlike other wealthy nations, the vast majority of this money is funneled into the pockets of the Saudi royal family. One man in particular benefits from this unjust economy: Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. The Middle Eastern ruler only has an official net worth of $20 billion, but because he doesn't need to officially report his income, many people believe his fortune may approach $1 trillion. The Saudi Public Investment Fund, of which bin Salman is a majority stakeholder, is worth more than $450 billion. When factoring in other extravagances like mansions, cars, jets, yachts, and foreign currencies, bin Salman may secretly be the richest person on Earth.